Welcome.
We are outstanding individuals. My name is Cody Lewis, and this is
Kellan Breen.
And we are bugging podcasting in New York City, doing our thing.
It's a nice fall day. I went on a walk before this, met Cody randomly
on the street. Is there nothing better than seeing your boy?
We went down the
street?
same side street.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
It was beautiful.
You were about to say something.
I was about to say this. This is a funny thing my friend did the other night where we're all in a group at the bar, and my other friend came. We met him, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to take off, and he left. And then when he left, my friend looked around and went, finally. As
a joke?
As a joke. But it's like a funny thing to do when someone, like when Becca left the room, I was going to say finally.
Finally.
It's kind of mean, but anyway.
Did you for a second think he was being serious?
Yeah, for a second. But then I was like, because it was going well. Like there's no reason for him to say that. So then it's.
Have you ever been hanging out with someone or like a group of people, and then one guy's like, hey, I got to go. Like I have work in the morning. And you're like, all right, cool. We'll like see you later. And then you guys are like, oh, let's go to a different bar. And then you like see them. The guy who left at that bar.
No,
you're like, dude, you said you were leaving.
I've
or if you like go to make plans with someone and they're like, I can't that day. Like I have a lot going on, and then you like see them at lunch, like with a bunch of friends, and you're like,
yeah. Have you ever actually had that happen?
I don't think I've ever had that happen.
Because I've always worry about stuff like that.
Like if you bail on someone and you're like, well, now I can't go outside.
Right. Like even last night, I went to a concert at Super High, and I left my friend, but then part of me was like, oh, maybe I'll just go to the diner. But then I'm like, what if she thought, yeah, then I would be like, oh.
Because then she'd be like, I like, you wanted to go to the diner without me?
Right. Exactly.
So you didn't go to the diner?
No, I was like, I just need to go home.
What diner?
Fucking the Kellogg's, the biggest tease
it's shutting down.
It should shut down. Yo, but have you ever tried to write high?
No, not. I mean, I don't like really do anything like that now. I remember in like senior year of college, we'd occasionally get high, and I would I remember doing some assignments, but they were just like such bullshit assignments where it was like on such an uninteresting topic,
right?
That I'd be like, oh, you know.
But even like you never tried writing comedy high?
No.
Because last night everything you write, you're like, this is. I thought I solved comedy.
You're like, I just wrote an hour.
Yeah, I was like, this is so good, and then I read it today. I was like,
is any of it good?
Some of it, I was gonna ask you actually. I don't know if I should do it here, but I thought some stuff might be funny.
Yeah.
But at the end, I was like, literally like. My thoughts were so fast. I was like trying to get it down before I forgot. I was like, this is amazing. And then none of that worked. Like, it's so bad. I was like, oh my God.
I feel like I've had that, like maybe drunk, I wrote down a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, drunk, same.
Or in the middle. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night with an idea and I'm like, oh my God, I got to write this down. I write it down. And then the next morning I look at it and I'm like, not only is this incoherent, but it is so like, once I figure out what I was trying to say, I'm like, this is the worst idea of all time.
Right. I do that where, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm go to pee and this idea pops in my head and I'm like, it's fucking divine inspiration or whatever, and it's horrible.
And it's bad.
Horrible.
I've been having some fucking wild dreams lately.
Why?
I don't know. And I'm like waking up like I'm like kind of like when I wake up I'm like still in the dream state. Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, like a.
But you like I like wake up with like I'm thinking of something, like I'm like rapidly thinking of something.
Well, like it's, you know what sleep paralysis is?
No, it's not the Hat Man. Have you seen the Hat Man?
Yeah, it's from the show I was just talking about. Haunting of Hill House.
No, that's
right?
a real thing though.
What is it?
So sleep paralysis, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like you're like you can see what's going, like you're kind of like awake but you can't move, and you can kind of like see what's going on like around you.
Yeah, you don't really. I mean, 'cause whenever it happened to me, you're not actually seeing, but you.
Imagining what?
Yeah, you're imagining.
Like your room.
Yeah.
But apparently a lot of people who experience sleep paralysis see there's a guy with a hat, and then he has like two little guys.
Oh my God.
Sometimes near him. And it's like a thing that like people have experienced like across the world.
Right.
And like, and you're like, well, there's no way this person talked to this person. Like, there's
yeah. It's like
most people see it with sleep paralysis. The Hat Man, they call him.
That's horrible. Because there's a Hat Man on the Haunting of Hill House, which I was talking about.
Does he have two little hats?
No. But that's the sleep paralysis thing is crazy. Because there's also like this little creature people see, It's like when people get high on, I think it's not LSD or shrooms, maybe, but they
Bath
see.
salts?
Yeah, yeah, they
Bath
bite
salts?
people. No, they all see the same like little alien creatures, but it's like across cultures, which is so weird. You're like, what the fuck is actually going on? Wait, so you never experienced sleep paralysis?
I have. I've never seen The Hat Man. I like the other day, maybe like 2 months ago, I had 2 nightmares back to back, which is fucking wild. But one of the nightmares, I was like in my bed and like Becca was next to me, and then all of a sudden there was a guy standing above me, and he like grabbed my face. And now I'm like, now I woke up, but I'm still thinking like, oh, I'm in, like this guy's grabbed my face, and I'm going like, oh, oh, and Becca's like, it's okay, and I'm like, no, it's not, he's right. And then I like turn, and he's like not there, and I'm like,
oh
oh.
man, that's horrifying.
And then I was like, I too, and she saged. She's a big, you can see the sage right there by the TV. She was like, I got a sage because you had 2 back-to-back nightmares. Is unprecedented.
Have you ever actually like had a nightmare, wake up, but you're still in it, but you don't know? You know that happens.
Oh, and you're like, oh, finally I'm awake, but then you're still dreaming.
Or is that just a movie trope? Does that actually happen?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had that.
Yeah.
And then you like wake up again.
Yeah, and then you like think you're out of it, but I feel like that maybe.
And then
just
Leonardo DiCaprio's there.
Yeah.
And it's directed by Christopher Nolan.
Has that ever happened?
Has that ever happened to you guys?
And there's a fucking what's his name?
Who? The guy who plays
the guy who used to be a girl. Why am I bringing
the
this
guy
up?
who used to be a girl is in
yeah,
the
Ellen Page.
He's not in the Inception.
Yeah, full on. They are like the new student that they're recruiting. She is in the movie. Oh my god.
Ellen Page is not in Inception.
Yeah, look it up.
I gotta look this up.
Because you know,
there's the guy from what's it called? Don John. What's his name?
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, love that guy. Do I love that guy? Yeah, he's cool.
I bet he's not cool in real life. He kind of seems like a dweeb.
He's been famous for so long. Those people cool? We don't know. Yeah, looking it up. Elliot Page, Inception. Because you know they're in movies.
You're right. And she, well, at the time she, like creates worlds.
Yeah, but she's like the new recruit.
Yeah.
Always movies like that where you need explanation. There's always like a new person, so you're explaining to the audience, but it appears like you're actually explaining to this person, which is always in movies. I'm always think
is that like a classic? Because you went to film school. Is that like a classic film school thing?
Yeah, it's like something. It's a way to like so you're not like. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to explain shit to the audience, but you're not like being. It seems like more organic.
Yeah.
But anytime I see a movie and that happens, now it kind of takes me out of it because I'm like, oh, I see what you guys are doing. Even though you got to do it, I'm not saying you don't.
You know the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, but not. I mean, dude, I don't know anything anymore, but I know some things.
That's pretty cool. That was what I really like that movie. People fucking shit on it all the time.
Why do people shit on that movie?
I'm like, that was a great movie.
I saw the first Inception. I saw it opening day.
Yeah.
I saw it in the morning. It was so good. I went back that night. I was like, this is the best movie
That
I've
was
ever
one.
seen.
That was my first movie I ever watched where I had that feeling where I was like, I would watch that again right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
It is so good.
Especially in like theaters the first time. You don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
There's a spinning room and fucking Leonardo DiCaprio's killing it.
I think I was also like kind of the right age.
Yeah.
I was like maybe like 16 or 17 where I was like.
Just hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock. That's exactly what I mean. I had a boner. And, but I was like, oh, no, I like smart movies.
Yeah. that movie makes you think you're smart.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I get it. You didn't get it?
There's levels to this whole thing?
Oh, you didn't get it? Well, I got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the thing where he is, everyone's like, oh, is he dreaming or is he not? And it's like his totem, which is the thing that he spins to see if he's dreaming or not.
Yeah.
That's not his totem. That's his wife's. His totems is his wedding ring.
Oh, I have seen that. So then what's that mean?
I don't know. I never I read that and then I never watched it again. But apparently, so because in the dream he's still married, because what's his name's still alive.
Oh, right.
So you're supposed to look at his hand to see, oh, is he? But I don't know in the last scene if they show his hand.
I'm sure you see
where he
his
like
hand.
sees his kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was like,
what an exceptional ending. Where you're like,
so good.
And it does. Dude, I remember in theaters the top spinning and it kind of wobbles. And literally
then,
and then it cuts to black.
And then a black guy in the audience goes, "Oh man, that shit is dumb."
It's like, shit.
Shit, this movie's crazy. And you're like, that's the best. Black people in the movies, they say, they're very funny.
Nothing's better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible.
Unless you want to pay attention to the movie.
There's a certain type of movie where, I'm not saying black people, but where you want the audience participation.
Yes.
There's some movies I'm okay with it. I've had people sit behind me in a horror movie and I had to move. I was like, this is horrible.
I think also if they're talking about, if they're like just throwing in a comment every now and then, that's fine. But if they're having like an entirely separate combo, or if like one person's like, wait, what's going on?
Right.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
But if like something crazy happens and then they go like they say something funny, I like that.
Yeah.
I think a horror movie, it's good.
It depends. If it's like a cheesy, campy horror movie, I'm down. But did you ever see the movie The Strangers?
Yeah, that was also, speaking of like being young and being like, oh, the movies are so cool. I think I was like 16 and I was like, horror movies don't scare me. And my dad's like, all right. And I'm like, yeah, they don't scare me. I'd watch one right now if you asked me to. And he's like, okay, you want to watch one? And then we watched The Strangers, which like, if I were to think about like the scariest movies I've ever watched, that's at the top of the list.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, just people
horrifying.
Come out of the woods with masks and keep these people in the house.
And then the people are like, why'd you do this? And they're like, just because.
Right.
Because you were home.
There was
a horrifying answer.
I went and saw that like on a Friday night, like in high school. And there's this, like people were like literally yelling out in the theater, and someone's like, "Oh my God, kill me, kill me, kill me!" And then someone else is like, "If you don't like it, you can leave." And then it's like this little fight.
Was that a Latina?
No, I'm not saying what accent that was, but it was. It was
kind of Latina.
You can leave.
That was a trans Latina you just did.
You can do that, right? Yeah, it was very funny though. That was the best when you're.
Did they stop after that though?
I don't even remember. But like when you're in middle school or high school and you like go with a group to like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's just so fun. You're like,
I never got to do that.
No?
I went to like such a small high school. Yeah, we didn't have these like I never went to a group movie.
It's fucking sick as hell. And you want to sit by the girl, so she can give you a little.
I never got a movie hand job.
I never did either.
I don't think I did like a movie. I never did like a movie makeout.
No?
Not in high school.
A lot of nowadays it's so expensive, and we're old. That would be weird now.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do a movie makeout now.
Yeah, well,
like there's children around.
That's true. One time,
you ever been to a horror movie and then someone walks in with like their 4-year-old kid and you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, dude, even if they're doing something else, like they're preoccupied with like their Game Boy or something, like they're gonna look up,
right,
and then you're gonna be up with them tonight when they can't sleep.
Yeah, that Shutter Island, I remember. I saw in theaters, and this couple came with a baby. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Also, one time, do you remember that movie I Am Sam?
I Am Sam.
With
no.
fucking Sean Penny's a mentally challenged guy. That's like when they're making fun of on Tropic Thunder. Have you seen that?
No.
Always like, never go full retard.
Oh,
do you remember that?
No.
Anyway,
I remember that.
That's what he's referring to, that movie, I Am Sam. And anyway, we're in the theater, and the fucking woman behind us starts choking on popcorn.
Like legitimately.
Choking. And then my mom was like, "Oh, I'll go get my mom," and like ran. My grandma was in the lobby.
And your grandma's at home.
Yeah, she's like, but because my grandma's a principal, and I guess my mom was like, that'll help. But it was like,
but did your grandma know? I bet like a principal probably should know the Heimlich.
Maybe, but I don't. Nothing came of it. The girl like just stopped choking, but for a minute there, everyone's like, "Oh my God, what do we do?"
That's so crazy. How did you know? Because you just like heard.
Yeah, she was literally directly behind us, and we heard her start coughing, and then she starts like really going.
Oh my God.
So my mom took off the lobby because my grandma had gone to the bathroom, and then but by the time they got people and everything was fine, but that's the worst.
Choking. Your grandma's mid poop. You gotta fucking hurry up. Wipe. Hurry up. Don't wipe. You ever, I occasionally think, I'm like, I should just go. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know the Heimlich. Everyone should know the Heimlich.
Yeah. I've watched videos of how to, if you're by yourself, how to do the Heimlich.
Yeah.
You fucking just
Is it like a chair?
Chair, or it's on, you like arch your back and fall on the ground. I'm like, or something. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Now that I'm saying it.
You jump and you land on your back?
No, you fall forward, but you try and hit your stomach. But that wouldn't. Maybe it is.
I would just hit my nose and get a bloody nose.
There's no way that would work.
Yeah.
I always think like if you were like by yourself and you started choking, you like had to run to your neighbors and like.
I think
and
about
be
that
like,
sometimes,
"Ugh."
like knocking on the door.
Yeah, it'd be fucking horrible. That would be the worst. Because at first you're like, well, you're the one who told me someone.
Recently, maybe in the past 6 months, my mom was like, "Oh, you're like middle school, like secretary," and I was like, "Yeah," and it was like her daughter was like at home with her husband. They're just like eating steak. She, swallows a chunk, starts choking, just dies. Like the husband like cannot, like he's trying to do the Heimlich and he cannot get it.
Yeah.
And then the paramedics showed up and I guess she was dead.
Oh my god.
Horrifying. And then, but you know what? And I've thought about doing stand up on this. Not that particularly.
That's a good one.
That's a horrifying story. But then I was like, oh my god. And my mom was like, yeah, but like the paramedics told the guy, like, hey man, this thing was so lodged in there, like it would have been impossible for you to save her. And I'm like, okay, like that's nice that they said that, but like I bet they say that no matter what.
Right.
Because I doubt they would be like, if like, could I have saved her? I doubt the paramedics would have been like, yeah, like if you were better at the Heimlich, like you would have definitely saved her.
If you reach
like,
your fingers down the goddamn throat.
Yeah, like, oh no, you were really bad at the Heimlich. That's why she died.
That's so true.
Because that you also always hear that with like someone who dies in their sleep. They're like, doctor, did he suffer? And the doctor's always like, no.
Yeah.
He died immediately.
Right.
I bet that's not true.
You're right. I never thought about that.
Because I doubt the doctor would be like, yeah, he was fucking like 2 hours. He was in pain. And you're like, because then that person, because it's like, it's a victimless lie. If the doctor says, no, he didn't suffer.
Yeah, right. It's like the movie The Prestige. Have you seen that? Speaking of Christopher Nolan.
No, I don't think I have.
You never seen that?
No.
It's one of my favorite movies. But the guy, he drowns, and then to make the other guy feel better, he's like, the sailor told me about drowning, and he said it was like...
It was peaceful.
Yeah, it's peaceful. And then at the end of the movie, there's this whole thing, and he's like, I lied about the drowning. That's like the worst way to die.
I've heard that as well, though. Drowning's peaceful. Is that just from that movie?
I think drowning is not peaceful.
Everyone says like when you accept it, but it's also like, okay, it's peaceful compared to what?
But like, imagine if you like froze.
Getting my head chopped off.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably more peaceful.
No, that's easy.
No.
Yeah, chopped off. You don't.
No, sawed.
Okay, that's.
Are you saying with the samurai? You're talking clean cut with the samurai,
or a fucking guillotine? Guillotine.
Well, the problem with the guillotine is sometimes it wouldn't go all the way through.
Who says that? You don't know that.
No, it's true. It's documented.
They didn't sharpen the blade.
Or it's like, like the guy who made, it's like machines break or machines don't function. It's just kind of like, oh, we didn't get that one. That guy had a thick neck. Or
Imagine that if you're in that situation where they put you up and you're waiting to be executed.
Brutal.
Imagine that. What do you do?
It was crazy. They would just publicly do it.
Yeah.
I used to have a joke about the guillotine where I was like, I bet it caused so much PTSD in people, but they like didn't realize.
Oh, seeing it?
Seeing it. Where like a guy in the like Middle Ages is like, Doc, I don't know what's going on. Like I'm waking up, I have night terrors, I'm sweating. And the doctor's like, oh my God, like what, you think it's maybe you need to change your diet or anything? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I got to go to the public execution.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're killing my uncle. But I got to go check that out. But I'll maybe next week we'll figure this thing out.
That's funny. Also, it's funny in your joke in the medieval times there's a therapist, a psychologist.
It was probably a wizard. Yeah, it was probably not a therapist. It's probably a wizard who's like, you need to touch a toad. Have you tried touching a toad? And he's, oh, yeah, maybe I will try that. That had to be the best gig.
The wizard?
Medieval wizard. You just kind of fucking go.
Yeah, it's like, yes, do that.
You just make shit up.
Yeah, that's good.
You can just be like, that guy's a witch. That's why.
But I think you don't know what a wizard does.
I don't think a wizard's real.
So that makes sense. Yeah, you're right. But
I don't know what a wizard does. It's not real.
No, but you're making a wizard seem like he's like a therapist. Are you like, I got to go see my does insurance cover my wizard visits?
I bet a wizard back in the day would help people. Maybe their mental, like, oh, this happened. Oh, let me cast a spell.
Right.
He'd fucking. Because they couldn't shoot, like, they couldn't do with the movie show and, like, shoot fire out of their hands. Oh. But they probably could, like, be like, I'm going to cast a spell. You'll be cured. They can fake that.
Right. But wizards aren't real.
I know. But I bet in the medieval days there was guys that would claim
yeah, like a
snake
wizards. Doctor. Or what do you call him? Snake doctor?
Snake oil salesman?
Yeah, like that. Snake doctor.
Is that what it's
Yeah, but it's got to be. But
like a snake doctor. Snake doctors are real.
Are they?
Probably. If you have a pet snake.
Oh, there's probably at least one
Yeah.
in
I
existence.
think there's one in the United States.
There has to be. But anyway, back to wizards. Yeah, where did the wizard myth come from?
I bet wizards were a thing in the past, like in the 1800s or whatever, 1700s, and then like
1700? You mean like 1400?
I bet wizards were 1700s.
What's your definition of a wizard? I feel like we're not on the same page here.
Pointy hat.
Yeah.
Hates black people.
Is a robe with stars on it, like classic?
Yeah, probably
wizard?
1400s. All right, and
No,
then
because medieval times. When was that? 14, 13? I don't fucking know.
my like timeline of things. If you were like, what's the 1600s like? I would have no idea.
Shakespeare, I think, was around though. Actually, I have no idea. But wizards, I'm thinking wizards, medieval time with knights. That's like fucking so far back.
So like
1700s.
12, 1400s. You're saying?
That's like Magna Carta. I don't even know what
You're just saying things, man. You're like
trying-
Shakespeare, Magna Carta. I'm like,
just
this
trying
isn't
to-
helping.
trying to sound a little smarter than you.
Yeah,
That's all.
I mean, I am really bad with. The problem is, and like a month ago, I was like, I need to like kind of figure out. I'm gonna like listen to a history podcast while I like do the dishes, and then
Yeah.
I did, and then like a week later, I forgot everything.
Right. If I'll go. It's like an hour before I forget.
And I'm like, well, what's the point? Why did I
Right.
even? It was a complete waste of my time.
I mean, it's fun.
So I
History
probably
is
knew
fun.
timeline better. I probably learned that. Like, oh, the 1400s this, 1200s
Yeah.
that. I just immediately forgot it.
Yeah, of course.
And there's no point in learning because
I mean, unless you're like into it, then you're not gonna remember like all these. I mean, maybe we should know when wizards were, but
like, what was Game of Thrones? What would like not like obviously there's like they put like wizards and fantasy in that, but like what year was where people were like on horseback like fighting each other and they were
that's
castles?
nighttime. Let's look it up because I don't know.
We're gonna Google what year was the Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I bet it's. I'm guessing. Why don't you guess? I'm guessing.
I'm guessing 1230s.
I'm guessing 1400s. All right, I'll do the what's the Jeopardy noise? Ding 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 ding.
What did you say,
Users
14?
guess. Audience guess. When was knights?
Okay, medieval era, often called the Dark Ages or Middle Ages, began around 476 A.D.
We were so off. I was
And
1,000
but
years
that's
off.
1,000, but it spans 1,000 years, ending in 1450.
Okay, so I got the tail end.
Did
I said 1400. Yeah, you got.
Oh, I got
Your
in the
answer is more
midst.
right though.
That is the thing where you like bring up Game of Thrones and you're like, I remember I was like, oh, wonder what it's like back then. Like, and someone's like, it's a fantasy show, and you're like, obviously I know that.
Yes.
There's a fucking.
I know there's not a
naked-
red wizard
Yeah,
who's actually an
exactly.
old lady.
who's hot as hell. Is she the hottest lady of all time?
Hottest in the show.
Yeah, I think
She
so.
might be hottest in the show.
Besides Khaleesi's hot.
Khaleesi. Yeah, I would say top 3. Khaleesi, her. Everyone was always like, "Oh, Cersei's the most beautiful." Cersei's not the most beautiful.
Oh, the little assassin girl.
No,
Yeah,
Jon Snow's sister.
yeah,
No.
yeah. When she's right in the beginning of the show, she was hot.
When she's like 5 years old.
Yeah, but I was also 5 when that came out.
I don't think that's true.
No, I'm joking.
We'll
No.
fact check that. Who else was
No, the Red Wizard is.
Red? Khaleesi. Maybe Cersei's top 3.
Oh, that black chick was kind of hot.
Oh, Khaleesi's.
Yeah, but she's not top. Yeah, she's probably top.
There were some. I mean, there were some
Oh, the
like there were some
mom?
brothel scenes where you're like, "Oh, that one's hot,"
Yeah,
but that was just like a background actor.
Do you like the mom?
Jon Snow's mom?
Yeah.
Or-
You like you refer to everyone Jon Snow's.
I'm a big Jon Snow. What was Jon Snow's brother's name?
The one who got the Red Wedding
Yeah.
one? I can't remember.
Fuck.
I read it. I watched it all
Stark?
like in a.
Ned Stark? No.
That's the dad.
I watched it recently. So good. That
Oh,
was
was it
probably in the
first time?
past year. Yeah.
Oh my god. So good.
And then like everyone else, the last season, I was just kind of like baffled. I'm like, oh, I bet people are just like exaggerating how bad this was.
That's
and then,
what I thought. The same thing. I was like, "There's no way it's as bad."
And then I
as
watched it, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I also thought there was 6 episodes last season. I thought there was 8. So I was like, "Oh, I got 2. They got at least 2 more to figure this out."
Oh, you're saying the 6th ended, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to watch the 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of the 6th, I realized it was the end. But like halfway through the 6th, I was like, "Well, they're tying this up quickly." But we got at least 2 episodes, even though that was enough. But then it just ended. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Do a lot of these shows, I feel like when they get so big and then they're paying the actors so much, is that why it kind of like tapers off? Because they're like, well, we can only afford 6 episodes.
No, these guys apparently HBO was like have as much money as you want, have as much time as you want, and these guys I think they're just over it, but they didn't want to like give the keys to anyone else. Because I've read they like even
Who was over at HBO?
no the showrunners. I can't remember their
Okay.
names. There's 2 guys, and they were just like ready to move on to the next project, but they just wanted to see it out. But like apparently like in the writers' room they like stopped having other writers help them or something where they're like, because there's literally no way they didn't know it was bad. Like it's so bad. It feels like someone who never even watched Game of Thrones wrote it. Like that's how fucking bad it is.
Yeah, I feel like me, who has no experience in writing a TV show, if you put me in the room, I'm like, guys, this is bad.
Right. Or you could have wrote that. But she drops a knife and stabs it. Like this, we waited 7 seasons for this battle, and then she kills him with a knife.
The craziest thing was the fact that they fight the undead, and then like that season ends, and the next episode they're like, all right, we gotta go. Let's go take back. Let's go fight Cersei.
Yeah.
And I was like, shouldn't you take a few fucking days or something?
Yeah. Or dude,
so
that should have been almost like half a season, that whole battle.
And they take out a dragon. So easy. And then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
It's horrible.
You know, I hate them.
Yeah. Let's do our first segment.
Yeah, fuck that. That was good. We were cooking there for a second.
First segment is life hack. Let's do life. Do we always do life hack first?
No, where's your jokes that bomb?
All right, jokes that bomb. Okay, I have not necessarily a joke that bombed. I have an experience of bombing this past Monday. I was the 9 o'clock show. Cody was there. There was a comic before me who was doing very well, and he's kind of like unorthodox. Like he wasn't on stage. He's kind of just like walking through the audience.
He runs through the crowd and he yells at them and he gets everyone involved. Steve Marshall, shout out. He's their boy. Marshall.
And he talks about black cocks a lot.
Yes, big fan.
Big fan. He makes a lot of jokes about black cocks. So then like I'm sitting there watching him do this, and I'm like trying to think. I'm like, oh, maybe I should talk about.
He's very hard to follow, because he's so unique that anytime you have someone who like does something different in comedy, and you have to follow that, it's like a weird. And if they're good too, if someone's really good, you have to follow. It's hard. So he has a combo of he's really good and he has a unique style.
And
so
he's just talking black cocks.
Yeah,
I'm pretty like PG. He's going fully like rated R. So then I go up and I'm like, well, I think I should probably mention that he's been talking about black cocks a lot.
Yeah.
So I do that, and it like goes well initially. And then I like I can't get off of it. I can't stop talking about it. And now it's like, I'm like fully silent room for like minutes. And and Cody was watching me, and afterwards he was like, I was just like praying that you stop talking about it.
I was like, there's no way he's going to say it. Because what Kellan would do, he'd talk about the Black Hawk. He would try an actual joke. It wouldn't work. Then he'd go, oh, well, I guess we'll go back to the Black Hawk. But it got to a point where I'm like, please don't say it again. Please don't say it again. And then he would say it again.
And I just kept doing it.
And the audience, at one point, some lady, you're like, oh, I should have killed myself. And a lady's like, you should have killed yourself 15 minutes ago.
It was bad. It was honestly one of the worst stand-up experiences that I had. And then there is a silver lining. No, well, maybe that's silver. I don't know if I'm using that phrase correctly. The next show, so I bombed horribly. I got off stage. And then the next show on the 11, I have to follow him again. I have to follow Steve again. And Steve's like, hey, man. And this, and I think he was just being a nice guy. He's like, do you want to go before me?
Oh, I
was like, no, fuck no. I'm going after you. Again, I have to like figure this out. And then I go up after him. I talk about it for like 30 seconds. And then I just like go into my act. And I did well. I did like significantly better. It was like a really good show, the 11. And I got off stage and I was like, he was like, oh, you did it.
Yeah. Well, you know what he also said to you that I thought was interesting is, he's like, you don't, because Kellan gets up there. He's talking about black cocks. It's almost like making fun of Steve Marshall.
Yeah.
And he's like, they liked me. So then you get up there and they don't know we're friends. So it kind of sounds like you're
I was making fun of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I was like, oh, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
And plus you're just beating a dead horse.
That was cool of him because him and I are friends. But that was cool of him that he was like, I was kind of like making fun of him a little, but he was like not even a little bit offended.
Yeah.
And as he should have been because he just killed and I just bombed.
Yeah, right. He gets it too.
Yeah.
He knows you're not being malicious with the making fun of him. You're just kind of just a funny thing.
I think sometimes you just have to talk about. And I was listening to a podcast with Anthony Jeselnik, and he would say like when he was hosting, is he would go up and he's like, my thing was I would always just like make fun of each comic, no matter like even if they killed, I would say something, and he's like, people would get mad at me,
Right.
but he'd be like, God, this is just like what I do.
Right.
Like, I don't know why you're.
Oh, as
getting
a
offended.
host though.
As a host, he would go up and he'd be like, you know, like even if like you went up and you killed, and then he would like went up between you and the next comic, he would like make fun of you for something you said.
Right. That's something like I used to do at open mics, and I was really good at that.
Yeah.
And I would get up there and like, because at mics people say stupid shit all the time, and then so it's easy to like roast them and everyone laughs. But then you try that at shows, and generally everyone's better, so it doesn't work. But
have you tried doing it at a show?
Yeah, and no, not really. But I just think it's just a harder thing to do.
Yeah.
But also, it's one of those things it's not necessary to do as a host to be able to like roast what they just said.
Maybe like with his Jesselnick's like persona.
Yeah, true.
It's better, but I can't imagine him hosting. Like on podcasts he talks about hosting, and I'm like, his whole act is just like fabricated like jokes, dark jokes
to try and get you with the twist.
Yeah.
But he must, maybe back in the day he was a different type of host. I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, that was my
that was funny. Oh, dude, but also remember that chick?
Oh, so after the show, after the 9,
yeah, I was the host.
Woman comes up to Cody.
She's like, "Hey, you're really funny," and I was like, "Thanks." And she's like, "And you're really cute." And she had giant breasts, and she had a tattoo on her chest. So I was like, you know. And then she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, and we're just groaning at that point.
It was just moaning.
Yeah.
And then you guys DM'd for.
Well, I'm like, "Oh, you on Instagram?" Because I'm a fucking. People are like, "Oh, just ask the number." I'm like, "Whatever." And she's like, "Yeah." And then I added her, and then she's like, she started saying, she's basically implied she was leaving the next day, or she said she was going to leave the next day. So all the comics were like, "You got to go fucking get drunk with her right now."
I was pressuring him.
And then, but then she ended up like, she's like, "Oh, I can't hang out right now." But she was saying weird shit.
She was.
But
she was. It was drunk girl shit.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I would come back to the East Coast for you."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you're gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, "This is."
But then she had a photo on her story, and you could see her nipple. And I sent it to everyone I knew. I was like, "This."
Send it to his. Send to all contacts.
Yeah. My mom was like, "Good job,
Good
buddy.
job. Good job.
You're killing it."
But maybe next time she's in, I think what's gonna happen is she's gonna go back to wherever she lives, and the next time she visits New York, she's gonna get drunk. She's gonna fucking.
Yeah, she's gonna
get one beer in, one
or
vodka
she
tonic.
tells me before, and she's like, "Can I stay with you?"
That'd be hot as hell.
Can we put the photo up for the viewer to see how hot? It's allowed. We'll blur her face out. I just want to. Also, the night before, it is weird with like chicks when it rains it pours sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been on a little bit of a dry spell, but there was another girl I was hosting, and she just literally was facing the stage, and I was like standing behind waiting, and she just kept like staring at me.
You were waiting to get on stage.
Yeah, to switch it because I was hosting.
Okay.
So I kept having to stand there, and every time she would just kind of look, and it was like such an awkward you do not need to be looking at me. And I was like, this two nights in a row, girls wanted it. What the fuck?
Did she approach you after?
No, because I left early. Because the last comment, I know I should have stayed, but also she might have been 21.
And that's okay.
That's okay. It's legal, baby.
That's legal. I remember there was a comic one time, and there was like an older woman during his set that was like, she was like really hitting on him, and she was like deep throating. He had told me she was like licking her beer bottle, like looking at him
he's on stage,
as he's on stage, like licking her beer bottle and stuff. And he's like kind of like talking to her. He's like, "Oh my god, this chick is like licking her," and then they're like having a rapport. And then he gets off stage, she comes out, and she's like kind of like, "Oh, after the show, let's hang out, blah blah blah." And she like goes down to the bathroom. He's like, "Oh my god, like that was crazy." He's like, "I'm married." And I just he says this to me. He goes, "I'm married." And I look at him and I go, "Then you need to leave right now." And he goes, "You're 100% right." And he left like before the show was over. He was like,
"Wait, where was that, Broadway?"
At Broadway. He's like, I've never seen this comic after since then, but I was like, "Dude, you need to leave right now." He's like, "That is great advice." And he just left. Because he could have convinced himself. He was like, "No, I'm just gay. I'm talking to my fans, baby."
Right.
He's like, "Dude, you don't need this fan. This is a bad thing."
It sounds like the greatest fan, dude. Also, the fact that she's licking, like deep throwing her beer bottle.
He was like, "Dude, it was so sexual," and I was like, "What?" And I was like, maybe he's exaggerating." And then she came out, and she was like all over him.
I was there, right?
I don't know
I
if
feel
you
like
were
I
there.
was. Maybe I
You might have
don't
been
know.
there, but then like you laughed.
Yeah.
I don't even remember
That's
his
so
name.
funny. That's fucking awesome.
It was sick as hell. All right, what was your joke? That bomb.
Oh, my joke. I was trying. This is just something I think is funny. Is like I saw a homeless guy with a British accent, and there's not really any joke there. It's more of an idea. But don't you think that's funny that he like came all this way?
Yeah.
It's
That is
more
funny.
sad. It's no joke.
Yeah, it's hard to do a homeless.
Well, then
joke.
I was also trying to say like that's how powerful the British accent is. Like even when he's talking, I'm like, oh, he must be faking it, or like, because there's no way someone with that accent could make such bad decisions.
Yeah.
Nothing funny there. Fuck.
No, I think it's hard. A homeless joke is hard.
Yes, but I already have like a whole homeless chunk, and I'm like, I don't want to add to this. It's already like a touchy thing.
Yeah. It is you saw that and you're like, whoa. This guy's got a British accent? What the hell?
Yeah.
Came all the way here to just fucking masturbate in public?
Oh, that's good.
Maybe there's something there.
Write that.
All right, we're 37 minutes in. Let's do our life hack. I have a good life hack. My life hack.
Check out. Make sure. Look at the camera and action.
My life hack this week is if you are at a casino. I don't really frequent casinos anymore, but when I used to go, on the weekends sometimes when I was at home, they had opened one in the area. This is the move. I didn't have a lot of money, but I would go up to like a roulette table where I saw a lot of people were like betting, right? Guy bets on something. He's like, I'm going to put like 100 on red. I would see him do that. I would look at him and I go, hey man, that's going to hit. I'm going to give you some good juju, I think that's going to hit. I got good karma. I'm throwing it your way. He goes, he's hyped. He's drunk. He's like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Red hits. He gets winnings. He throws me a little chip. He goes, $5 because he just won $100.
And you didn't.
And I gave him some good juju.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just standing there like as a spectator.
Oh.
And I go, dude, that's gonna hit. I have a good idea about this one. And he's like, you think so? And I'm like, yeah, I think it is. And he's like, okay, I'll put a little more on. Hits. He goes, here's $5.
That's happened?
It's happened many times.
I can see
because
that
if it doesn't
happening.
hit, I don't got anything. I'm like,
Right.
my bad, man. I'm just a drunk guy.
Right.
But if it does-
That's funny.
Because he needs to. And now in his head, he's like, oh my god, that hit. That guy gave me good karma. I can't just take this karma. I got to give him something back.
Right. And if you're winning, you're in the flow. You're like, $5 is nothing.
Yeah.
That's a good hack.
I want to make sure this is on. Just okay. I said this horrible fear that there was nothing recording. Yeah, it's a great hack. It's happened a few times. Sometimes they win, they don't give you anything, and then you're drunk. If they don't give you anything and you're drunk, you go, "Oh, come on, you're not gonna give me $1?" And they don't. And they go, "No," and you go, "All right."
They're like, you juju? I didn't need your fucking.
Like I just manifested that win for you, bro. You're not gonna throw me a bone.
Yeah, that might work.
It works.
Roulette's
kind of the perfect game for it.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah, slots don't really work. Craps, I don't really play craps that much.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But I don't even really know how.
Yo, when I was like 18, I was on a cruise.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking sick as hell. And I was walking by the roulette table, and that's the first time I've ever gambled. I was like, I'm just gonna put it on my lucky number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Did it once, hit, bam.
How much?
Well, I can't remember. What is it, 42 to 1?
Dude, how much did you bet?
I think it's $5 bet. So
damn.
So it wasn't.
Maybe like $200 probably.
Yeah, I think so. Whatever it was crazy because it's like first time I ever did it, and then after that, I never won again. But
wow,
I felt it in the air.
Yeah, I'm probably down on the roulette in my career.
I stopped doing roulette. Blackjack. I used to do well, like I'd do decent, and then one time I made I started with like 5, got up to like 100. I was at like 105. I gave my brother $100 chip.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, don't let me spend this. Keep this. So I'm playing blackjack, and I ended up I get up little, then lose it, and then I'm losing. And as I'm losing, I'm like to my brother, I'm like, give me the chip, and I just fucking put it down and lose it in one hand.
Oh.
And I swear that was like I cursed myself because since then I haven't done well.
Did you say to him, I told you not to give me the chip?
Yeah, but I was like, just fucking. We weren't like drunk. We were sober. I was just like, come on, just give it. Like in my head, I was like, well, I gained this anyway, so I'm not really losing.
Yeah.
But once you lose it, it feels like you fucking lost it.
Yeah, it feels
you
like you
lost
lost
it for sure. Yeah, it's good.
All right, what's your life hack?
My life hack is sometimes when you're going down the street, you'll see a trash can.
Okay.
And it smells bad, and there's rats.
Okay.
I didn't do a life hack this week.
You didn't do a life hack? You tried to just do the Michael Scott.
I tried. It didn't work. I had actually the other day. Me and my buddy were outside of a bar, and a rat came and sat between his legs.
Oh, horrifying.
Yeah, I've never
That's
seen
how
that in New
diseases
York.
start.
Yeah, Black Plague. Speaking of medieval times,
That's the Black Plague.
I don't have any hack, and I tried to think of one, and I couldn't. I was doing the other segment.
You have no hack.
No hack. You got these like little good hacks that you can send to people. They're fun. My hacks are like take vitamins and everything.
You just Google. You pretend you have to use the bathroom and you go and Google and then it's like don't eat salt.
That was a good one last week.
That one was
Let's
okay.
clip it.
Let me see if I have another life hack. Another life hack.
Sometimes actually, do you know one time I was in a dressing room.
Okay. Are you are you mad libbing again? Or are you
No,
just making
no.
this up?
Actually, I don't know why I thought this. I was in a dressing room at Kohl's. No, I wasn't in the dressing room. I was like 17. This is a random story. I don't know if it's not really relevant to anything. But we can talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
I was in Kohl's and we were buying jeans and I couldn't find a dressing room. So I was like, I'm just going to fucking change in the aisle. Kohl's closes late. So it was like,
God.
it was like 9 p.m.
Just going to expose myself to the children.
But I was in my boxers.
All right.
So I just fucking did it real quick. No one says anything. I changed. I liked them. Changed back. Went and bought them. And my friends and I walk outside, and there's literally a guy sitting there smoking a cigarette, like cool pose, like his foot on the wall.
Yeah.
You know? And he goes, "I saw you guys. What you guys did in there." He's a Kohl's employee, by the way.
Okay.
I'm like, "Yeah, what?" He's like, "I saw you change it in there." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Just don't let it happen again. Next time, we're gonna have to get the police involved." And then, like, puts out his cigarette, and then walks inside. And I was like, "That's."
Were you scared?
No, I was like, "This is fucking the stupid." Just come up, and if it's a problem, just be like, "Guys, don't do that again." Like, he tried to do this like cool guy tough. It's like, you're a fucking manager at Kohl's. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I'm like, who are you trying to fucking be a tough guy to these like 17-year-old kids?
Yeah.
Acting like we fucking exposed ourselves. I'm in my boxers.
That's true. Maybe your penis poked out though.
I do have a big, large
Yeah,
cock.
that thing poked out the bottom.
Sometimes it hangs out. It says hello.
So, you know.
It looks for a little slurp action. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
You know, your penis like kind of like it's like a snake where like sucks on, it kisses little things. Okay. I don't know. This is my life hack. Is don't change in calls.
Yeah, don't change in calls.
I just lost every 4 followers we have.
Don't change
with
in
that
calls.
story.
That's fine. We'll cut it. The whole thing just got cut. All right, our last segment, which is the mystery segment, is this week. It is things white people love.
Cue the music.
Cue the music. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
You have to play Sweet Caroline right there.
All right, I'll play Sweet Caroline.
Okay, cool.
I was just going to do 3 things. Top 3 things white people love. We'll go, you go, I go, you go, I go.
Okay. And we know white people love mayonnaise. They love.
Yeah.
We're not trying not to do unique stuff. And let me tell you, if you're not a white person and you go, but I love that, this is just our experience.
That's true.
So don't be mad.
No, I don't know.
And you don't want to love what white people love. Find your own thing.
Find your own thing.
Yeah. Gentrification is our thing. Okay.
Gentrification? I thought you said Jennification.
Like Jennifer Aniston?
Jennifer Aniston.
We talked about her last week.
We're back on Anna.
Okay, cool.
You go first. Give me top 4. It looks like you have 50 things listed over there.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to do my first one, putting pennies on a railroad.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
If you don't know.
And then they flatten.
Yeah, you have a railroad near your house. You put a penny. You put a bunch. Train goes by. And then you go and find them, and it's just a flattened penny, and you're like, "Whoa!"
Even though a penny's already pretty flat.
Yeah, but it like really flattens them.
Yeah.
Also in Disneyland, do you remember you put the quarter in and it flattened?
Why'd you say Disneyland like a black guy? Also in Disneyland.
Sometimes it just comes
it
out.
Comes out.
Shit. But
the one where you crank it? Are you talking?
Yeah, but it like flattens and puts a face on. Like
yeah.
Mickey Mouse. Anyway, so yeah, find it railroads. Did you do that as a kid?
I don't think I had a railroad by me. No, I did, but we just didn't do it. But I know of that.
Also, we used to be able to with the railroad, you find the like giant nails. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah,
stakes,
yeah.
And you'd take those, and they're like fucking 6 inches.
6-inch nail.
Cool.
That's
White
sick as
people,
hell.
shout out.
All right, mine. Buy one get one deals. White people love a buy one get one. White moms specifically.
Right.
Like you got to go. Did you see the deal at Kohl's? Buy one get one. Or like I met a friend growing up. He was always like, buy one get one at Chipotle today. He was like so dialed in.
Yeah.
And he's like, I get one. I have one, for lunch and then dinner.
That one
then
I'm
I
gonna
diarrhea.
I'm gonna have to give a little pushback on that.
You don't think white people like buy one get one?
I think everyone likes that one.
No, I think white people are like so dialed into a buy one get one.
Right.
Like if you see a buy one get one at a store, and then you'll occasionally see like a white trash person buying them all. Like, oh, buy one get one water, and then next thing you know, you like see someone, you're like, why does that guy have 15 water?
Oh, or he has like the giant, the water bottles with like stacks in his cart,
and I'm
he's
like, what the hell's going on here?
He's like, shit, I got a deal.
I can't
do
sick deal. I can't not get 25 Mountain Dew Code Reds.
Yeah,
It's buy one get one.
That's white. That's white trash. Love that shit.
They love buy one get one.
Okay, we're doing.
I
good.
would say honestly though, if we're keeping score, you're in the lead.
Okay. Oh, it's a game.
I would say
Oh,
we're not keeping score, but I'm just saying we're in. You are in the lead. I think
at
that
this point,
that penny one was good.
Yeah, we're keeping. You're gonna like.
I'm gonna Google though things white people love, and if fucking Google says that,
no, these are top of my brain.
all right, you go next.
Okay, next one. Hardcover books with women's faces on it.
Okay. I think this score is going to be evened up after that one.
Okay, maybe this is a New York white girls on the subway thing.
A hardcover book with faces on it?
I mean, it's like a biography. I could have just said biography.
Reading biographies.
But hardcover.
In public.
In public, and it's hardcover, and they're always on the train, and it's always Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whatever the hell her name is.
Reading Ruth Bader Ginsburg's biography might have gotten you more points than whatever you said.
Faces.
Than whatever gobbledygook you said.
What is gobbledygook?
I think I'll agree with that. I think, a nice autobiography.
And not that other races don't like to read.
We're not saying that. Guys,
No.
we're not saying that.
This is not racial, okay?
Stop making it racial.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what I got. I think mine's good.
That's 10 points.
Ready? Making fun of their wife. White guys love getting around and be like, oh, that fucking old lady. I would. I want to be golfing, but, the fucking old lady, the ball and chain,
Yeah.
she wants me to power wash. What a bitch. White guys love that shit.
The power washing, too.
Yeah. Oh, they love power washing.
Oh,
White guys love to power wash
Yeah.
and then talk about it until they'll talk about it. Like they power wash and then they talk about it until they power wash again.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of but yeah, I think it's 1-1.
I don't...
Reading autobiographies and making fun of their wife. White guys love doing that.
Okay, that's fair. That's more across the nation.
White guys make fun of their wife so much where you're like, do you like this person?
Yeah. Do white guys... A lot of times they don't even like their wife.
No, they don't like their wife.
And I think we're just talking about men right now, but that's okay.
That's a separate thing. Okay.
Okay.
I would say 1-1. This is it. This is for the win.
Wait, I might need to bring out like a better one.
This is for the win.
Because a lot of mine are directed at white women in New York, which
That's
is like
fine.
a different type of... Can I just do... Before we do our final, I'm just going to...
No. This is the final. Then we'll do some
then we'll do
honorable
it. Okay.
mentions.
This one, tattoos that represent travel.
Okay. That one's okay. I wouldn't say it's your best. The pennies one was so good.
Fuck.
Maybe I'm just basing everything off the pennies.
I should have ended with that one.
I would agree. Do you have any specific examples?
I just feel like a lot of white girls I know have airplane tattoos or like this tree I saw in Hawaii
Yeah.
when I was getting pounded by my black boyfriend.
Okay. All right. I would agree. I think I've seen some, or so they don't necessarily have to be like the location. It could be like you're like, oh, why do you have this tattoo of like a jellyfish, and they're like, oh, I went to Jamaica and this happened. I saw a jellyfish and it was so beautiful.
Right.
I would agree. Yeah. Specifically, kind of piggybacking off that, in college, everyone would have a friend that would study abroad.
Yeah.
And then they come back, and then they're like the most annoying person ever.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the lights. Where we went, there were no lights, and we would just sit by the candle and talk, and we got to know everyone. It's like, yeah, but fucking, we do have lights, and we also have ESPN, and it fucking rules.
Yeah.
I love ESPN.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah, the study abroad girls, those are
The worst. Nothing worse.
All
All right, my last one. For the win, I think for the win, The wind chill factor. What do you think? White people love the wind chill factor.
Okay, that's fair.
Like it's cold out. They go, yeah, oh, it's it's only 40. Yeah, but with the wind chill factor,
That's good.
it's 30.
That's good.
When that wind's hitting you,
Right.
and they kind of like with the humidity. That's the other end of it. They go, oh, it's only 70 out. Yeah, but it gets you the humidity that makes it not 90.
Yeah, the feels like what that Apple
Yeah.
does like feels like.
Feels like.
They love to talk about the feels like.
It feels like.
That's fair.
I would be willing to say we tied, but if
Also a white people thing is Canadian Goose jackets.
that's a good one too.
Should have wrote that down.
That's a good
You think
one.
we tied?
I would say a tie.
I think it's a landslide with me on my end.
The penny, you had the best one.
Yeah.
Pennies on the railroad. All right, give me some honorable mentions.
Okay. I'm just gonna rail. Do you say rail these off? No.
I'm gonna list these off.
There's a word I'm looking for. Don't know it. The Lumineers,
Okay, obvious.
film cameras.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of Asians with film cameras too. Like, Asians love cameras.
That's true. They're like, oh.
Okay, I'll cut that again. Let me just all right, next.
I didn't say. I just made a sound. Canteens.
Canteens, okay. We do love a good
Can I say what on the train yesterday? I saw a woman with this it was like the size of like a book, but it was a flat water bottle, and it was like book size,
like a
and it was like
flask? That's a flask.
no, but it was like size of a book, and it was thin, and it was clear.
That's just a big flask.
I guess it was a big flask.
Yeah,
but it was clear.
I've seen a big flask before.
No, but this was huge.
Yeah, I've seen
And it
ones.
went in
I've
her
seen
little
ones the
tote
size
bag.
of bucks.
Tote bags went on there.
Tote bags, okay.
Olive Garden. Actually,
Yeah.
this one I think I should have put in.
I don't
the
know.
top
I haven't
two.
been to an Olive Garden. I would have to go in and see the demographic.
It's amazing.
It's all whites.
I don't know, but it's so good.
Whites
People-
do love bread.
Can I tell you what people do that drive me nuts? I can love Olive Garden and love authentic Italian restaurants.
Yeah.
People always do this like all or nothing thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can't love Olive Garden fucking suck. It's like, dude, it tastes amazing. You get unlimited salad, unlimited breadsticks. They come with the cheese.
I've never been.
We should go. Not
I
here
would
in New
go
York.
to Olive Garden.
It's good.
But yeah, there's so many great Italian
Dude,
restaurants.
one time, can I tell you? I was in Italy. Speaking of being abroad,
Shout
and
out.
we were out in like Tuscany, and every little restaurant had the same food, 3 meals a day, and it was delicious. But by the end, I was so sick of it, and we went into Florence. We stayed a few nights in Florence, and there was a Hard Rock Cafe,
Yeah.
and we ate there, and it was the greatest meal.
Maybe just because you were just so in the need of a new meal.
Yeah, right. And then I tell people that, and they're like, I can't believe you ate Hard Rock Cafe in Italy. I'm like, yeah, because if you eat the same thing for 7 days in a row,
Yeah.
you're going to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going to crave what do they even have at the Hard Rock? You're going to crave a burger.
Yeah, exactly. Some good old American
Burger.
cuisine. Okay, sorry. That was a tangent.
Go do another white. You have a huge list.
This one I think should have been top 3, bowl cuts.
Bowl cuts?
No one else is, Asians
Well,
do
black
bowl
people
cuts.
can't do bowl cuts.
That's true. That's true.
Asians bowl cut.
Yeah.
Asians love a good bowl cut.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Also, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yesterday I was high. I was at a concert. Great time. And there was a black bass player
Okay.
next to a white guitar player.
Okay.
And I was so high, I was studying why the black guy looks so much cooler with his rhythm.
Black guys are just cooler.
Right, but
That's a well-known fact.
It's well-known fact, but I'm like, I was trying to like, because if I looked at the white guy, him and I were moving the same to the music.
Mm.
And then I looked at the black guy, and he was like slow moving, like cool. And I was like,
Yeah,
but I was
they
so
got
high, I
more-
was like trying to match the rhythm with the black guy. And I was like, my body's can't do it.
No, you can't.
Is that weird?
They got better rhythm, cooler,
Yeah. Bigger.
bigger penises.
Bigger
It's the
penises.
whole thing.
That was a tangent.
I have a one honorable mention.
Okay.
Things white people love. One honorable mention. Big asses, but not really. Like
That's the
I feel,
best one.
I feel like a white guy's like, oh, I love a fucking big ass, and then you're like, they see like an actual big ass, and they're like, no, I don't. Well,
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't love that. Or they'll be like, oh, check out, like I love a big ass like this, and they'll show you a big ass, and you're like, that's not a big ass.
Right.
That's a toned ass.
It's like a medium.
A medium
towards
toned
large.
ass.
Yeah. That's what they love.
Yeah. Like,
That's funny.
guys are like big asses. Like, you know what I mean? You ever see an ass and you're like, I wouldn't even know what to do with
Yeah,
that
you're like
ass.
body would be lost in that
I
ass.
wouldn't be able to have sex with this woman.
Yeah, and you're like, you think of it slapping it, and you feel like it'd be like slapping like a giant globe,
It's like a beanbag.
like a beanbag. Yeah,
Yeah. So big asses, but not really. That was my one.
I think
mention.
I honestly think that's the second best.
The
Honestly,
pennies
if
one was
we're
good.
gonna have to clip something, that's probably the one.
Big asses, but not really.
Yeah, that's funny.
Do
Right.
you have any other good
Sweater weather.
sweater weather?
That's a white people thing.
Yeah, these are too obvious.
Too obvious. Okay, waking up early. Okay,
Seems
move on.
that one seems racist.
Black
Seems racist.
black coffee.
Yeah, I would
I
agree.
feel like finance guys love black coffee.
Yeah, yeah, and they just love fucking talking. They love talking about it.
Yeah, like if you're in a frat or a sorority, if you're a frat, you drink black coffee and it's a cold brew and you think you're cool because of it.
Yeah, and it's objectively worse.
It's so much
Throw a little
worse.
milk. Throw a little oat milk. Throw a little
Splash it.
Yeah,
Why not splash
just
it?
throw a little splash.
Asian porn. Did I say that one already?
No, that's a good one though.
I think white guys love
White
Asians.
guys love Asian porn.
I like Asians. Old band T-shirts.
Yeah, I
That's
would
like-
say so.
That's like every little hipster girl right now, though.
You know what's something that I've thought about. This is kind of going off clothing. If I wear clothing with like some kind of like Mexican logo on it, or if I wear a sombrero, people are like, "That's appropriating," right?
Right.
That's appropriation. But how come whenever I see a Mexican guy who is wearing a shirt that's like, like Bill, the man, the myth, the legend, that's my culture.
Right.
Or like the skating brand DC or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my culture.
Yeah. Right.
How come that's not appropriating?
I could. Do you want me to?
Yeah, answer.
Because I know the argument would be they come from like a more suppressed historical background.
Yeah. Oppressed.
Oppressed.
Yes.
What'd I say?
You said pressed.
Yeah. Bench press.
They bench press.
They bench press and us we don't. So that's the problem. But so that's the reasons. Oh, and because historically people have made fun of like Mexican culture.
But you ever see those videos where like a guy will go around with a sombrero and he's like to all the white people and he's like, "What do you guys think of me wearing a sombrero?" And they're like, "That's disgusting."
Yeah.
And then he goes up to like a bunch of people, like minorities, like
Native,
Mexican
yeah.
people, and they're like, "What do you think?" And they're like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, we love sombreros."
Yeah.
And it's like,
Dude,
okay.
the whole thing, like there was for a while this girl in LA, she had a white girl opened like a taco truck and was killing it.
Yeah.
And then they like shut her down because she was white culture appropriating.
Did she like people made sure no one was going to get the tacos, or did she like got a bunch of backlash and then said,
Yeah,
okay,
I to be honest, I don't remember. There was backlash, but I don't know if she shut it down or someone else did.
I feel like some of that backlash is just such fake.
Dude,
Like
it's all
if she
online.
just kept grinding, it would have been fine.
Yeah, especially if it's good. But stuff like that, I'm like, dude, just let the girl do her thing.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
The tacos
But
are
this
that
is
good.
white people talking, so I don't fucking know.
That's true. We could be wrong. Probably not. All right, we're at an hour.
We did it.
Follow us. Shout out Christian Polton, my friend. He was the only one that texted me about the gay bar when we were like, I was like, my gay bar would be named Bulge. Yours is Big Slings.
Yes.
He texted me randomly. He's like, I like Bulge better.
It's funny because all my friends texted me and was like, you should just get rid of Kellan altogether.
Just do a solo.
Yeah, they're like, everything you're saying is hot fire in this guy.
Has anyone texted you about the Big Slings?
No.
No. All right. So I would say
But when was that? Episode 3? I think that's deep in episode 3, and I don't
one of our worst episodes too.
That was the hot one where the
Yeah.
room was a fucking furnace. We're dying.
But I wanted to give him a shout out.
Also, if you guys are listening, if anyone's out there, who did the white people stuff better?
Yeah,
who won
text
that
us.
battle? Because I honestly think the big asses but not too big might actually have won.
Text
'Cause that's
us, and we'll reveal if I bet no one texts us, but we'll see next week. Follow me at Kellan on Instagram. I'm rapidly losing followers. I don't know why.
Really?
I'm rapidly losing followers where I'm thinking to myself, did someone leak a photo of me with a child?
Like a naked child?
Yeah, I'm like, why is everyone? I've lost 100 followers over the past month, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh shit!
I think it's
Maybe these clips of this podcast.
it might be these clips. I think I get an influx of followers. Like if a video does well, I get an influx of followers, and then next time I post, people are like, wait, who the fuck is this? And then like a fraction of that unfollow me.
Also, do you know one of my friends? Orlando, you know her.
Shout out.
She has like 160K or something. She said she'll lose like fluctuate in like 5,000. She'll lose like 5,000.
Yeah, I think it's probably to scale.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's just part of it.
It's fucking bullshit.
I've been at like the same number for fucking a year.
I've lost like 100 in the past like month or two, and I'm like, what is going on?
You're right. I think you just gotta just keep on keeping on, baby.
But follow me at Kellan Breen.
I am Cody Lewis Comedy. And that's it. This has been Outstanding Individuals, and we will see you next week. Thank you.